So there's our neat lake, and there's our abandoned park, and that's where the batteries were buried. So I am in Hamburg today at a park called Kaercher Creek. So the significance of Kaercher Creek when it comes to Hamburg was in the early 1700s, a gentleman by the name of Martin Kershaw moved to the Hamburg area. It wasn't Hamburg back then. Bought a whole bunch of land, built a farm with a barn and stuff like that. His son, Martin Kershaw Jr., after his father died, he was the one who started making the plans to actually map out the town of Hamburg. Eventually, it originally was called Kershaw Stadt, or Kershaw Town. Stadt, is the German version. So when after he mapped out the town and it was incorporated, they named it Hamburg after Hamburg, Germany. So Kaercher Creek used to be a creek that ran through here. If you look behind me, there's the lake. So the lake actually, before the 1960s, used to be a creek. Martin Kershaw had his farm and a barn and stuff like that along that creek. In the 60s, it was turned into a dam. So today we're going to be checking out some little hiking trails around Kaercher Creek. There's also some other things going on here, so I want to kind of pay some attention to that. So check it out. The lake's making cool sounds. So, in a little tiny bookstore in East Stroudsburg, I found this map. The lady who was there was telling me that in the early 1900s, this map company, you couldn't just run to a store and get a map. The government and all these other places, these official map makers are the only places that had maps. So what this guy used to do is he used to take the official government maps and he used to cut them apart because they were huge, and then he would paste them, if you can see, onto like this linen. So if you look right down there, you can see Hamburg, and right here where my thumb is, you see this creek that runs right into Hamburg and goes across. Well, this creek was actually what they called Kershaw Run back in the day, because of Martin Kershaw actually had a farm down in here, and in the 60s they made a dam. So the thing I was initially walking across over there is the dam they built in the 60s. So it was a pretty cool thing. They dammed this up for recreation and for water control. And it was a good thing they did, because in the 70s, like I think it was 72, when Hurricane Agnes blew through, the town would have flooded if it weren't for this dam that was put up. So it was kind of a really good thing they did. Now this lake and this place is a pretty good place to fish. In fact, I think they just stocked it not too long ago with trout. Pennsylvania Fish and Game does take decent care of of the lake. So, but this is the back end. If you see down that way, you can see the boat dock and stuff, and we'll talk about that more when I get down that way. In the summertime, this place is full of starlings. I don't know if you've ever been around a giant mass of starlings before, but they have like a distinctive smell. You know, they have this musty smell to them. But, you know, the trees here are just covered in them. And there's, you know, eagles and osprey and stuff around the lake, and lots of blue herons. It's a good place to see birds. It's a nice little nature place. If you have little kids, it's a good place to do, you know, quick little, like 1.5 2 mile loop that, you know, you can tell it's not too bad. So it's not very heavily traveled either, so that's good too. There used to be a concrete platform up here. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember when I was a kid if it was like a viewing platform or whatever. I just remember one time when I was up here, there was a little steel doorway underneath it, and I peeked out over the edge when I was standing on top of it, and I saw a little chunk of sleeping bag pull in, because apparently a homeless guy was living underneath there. Kind of wondering if they didn't completely remove it, because I am not seeing it anywhere. And it wasn't like a little thing either. I haven't been up in the back here probably 10 years. So they might have pulled it out. There's a little farm kitty up there. Psst, 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 psst. Hi, farm kitty. Psst, 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 psst. He's just kind of sitting there looking at me. Oh, there he goes. This is the spillway underneath the dam. It was built in the 60s. Kind of a cool place to check out when you were a kid and play around in the creek when it was, you know, when it was a warm day. Kind of cool. You can see the icicles down there. I gotta take a couple of pictures of those. So this tunnel runs underneath the back end of the dam, and then runs all the way down into the creek, runs all the way down through Hamburg. So the crazy thing about our town is there was this battery manufacturer place called Price Battery. They would take batteries, they would break them apart, pull all the lead out of them like car batteries, and then smelt all the lead, and then they would sell the broken bits of what was left to people for fill. So you could buy broken batteries. If you had a hole that you wanted to fill, you could buy broken battery pieces to fill your hole. So back behind me here, 2012, some members of the local historical society found battery casings back in there. So the EPA, over a bunch of years, has been doing a Superfund in the area, because not only was this Price Battery selling battery casings for fill, but the smelter downtown where Price Battery was dumping lead in the air. So the EPA was going around to people's houses and finding that the lead levels were well above safe levels. In fact, where I used to live, they actually did my house too. So they stripped all the walls bare, and they pulled all the carpet out, and they took like the top 3 inches of soil off the backyard and resodded it because of all the lead contamination. So when they found all the battery casings back here, the Berks County owns the park, Fish and Game owns the lake, and EPA gave them a little bit to clean up, which I'm kind of wondering if that's what they did back there. I don't think they completely did the cleanup, because they said that it was going to be over $1 million to completely pull all the lead out of the ground. Looks like they just dug it out. I'm not sure what's going on back there, but yeah, so nobody wanted to pay for it. So Berks County closed the park here. So yeah, dirty little secret of Hamburg. So this is one of the pavilions at the park. Used to be like a pirate ship down here that we played on. And they had like volleyball courts and little gym equipment, but it's all run down. Oh Jesus, the dolphin! Oh my gosh, the dolphin is still here. That's funny yet sad. Yeah. And the turtle's here too. Concrete dolphin. There's a turtle over here. Turtle we used to play on as kids. And down here, there's the boat docks, or the docks you used to be able to fish on. They're all pulled out of the water. And the volleyball courts and the sand was over here. And then there's the tennis courts. Yeah, it's pretty sad. The bathrooms over there. Used to have like summer concerts here, different events. It's really kind of a shame. But so that's our abandoned park. So if you're a fisherman, I'm not trying to scare you. Fish and Game does check the waters and the fish contaminant level pretty regularly. It's not any like higher than any other place you fish in Pennsylvania. You know, any place that you go fishing, and if you are going to consume the fish, you have to be careful. So it's the water's not contaminated, the fish aren't contaminated, but the ground is. So I know, like I said, they did just stock it full of trout, and then after first day of trout, it will be available to go fishing. So I will definitely be out here seeing what I can catch. But yeah, safe for fishermen, come check it out. So that was Kaercher Creek. Kaercher Creek played an important role in Hamburg's history. That's where the founder's father first moved from Württemberg. So that's where the founder grew up. It's a pretty neat park. It's still really cool. It's a nice place to go for an afternoon walk or to go fishing. I mean, it's great for fishing. During the summer, it gets really weedy, just to warn you. So, topwater lures are probably one of the better things to use up there. The battery dump's a horrible thing. I mean, it's something that's been kind of hanging over the head of the town forever. The EPA did a really good job of cleaning stuff up. I mean, they cleaned up like 500-600 houses in town. There were so many dumps.
The dump thing was just stupid. There was dumps along the river because that's a good place to dump battery casings as long as Schuylkill River. There was dumps. In fact, like where I grew up, there's a field behind my house where there was like, strawberries. You could buy strawberries in this field behind my house, and there was a dump there. So, um, but yeah, so it's like I said, it's a nice place to go. It's not very crowded. It's nice for a short, quick afternoon walk. Take your dogs, go fishing. So if you're in the area, check it out. It's better during the summertime. So yeah, that's Kaercher Creek Park.